it's absolutely chucking it down outside. So we're looking at doing the gold leaf on the minute hand of the second clock. I coated it with peel away earlier on in the week, and that's removed all the paint, so it's now lovely and paint free and back to the original copper. So what we've got to do next is we've got to give this a bit of a polish up, and then put on the adhesive, let it go tacky. That takes about 90 minutes for it to go tacky, and then we can apply the gold leaf. Let's get on with it. Step 1 is the application of the adhesive. Now obviously this is a clear adhesive, it's oil based. You can get a water based adhesive for doing gold leaf, or gilding as it is known. Now this oil based one, you apply it very thinly, but the important bit is making sure that every single millimetre is covered, because if you don't cover it, of course the gold leaf won't stick to it. Now you take for example round this area here, there's lots of little indentations, and there's a huge one there, looks like somebody's hit it with a hammer actually there. Work the adhesive into it, because again, if you don't get any adhesive on it, all these little indentations won't take the gold leaf. It'll just flake off and it'll look terrible, it'll look patchy and terrible. You can see just there there's a little bit that's left on, but that's actually the original gold leaf, which didn't come off when we did the paint stripping. But I mean, you know, I could have scraped it off, could have sanded it off, but I thought it'd be nice just to leave one tiny little bit of the original gold leaf on there. Okay, so that's that stage now completed. The next stage will be the actual gilding itself with the gold leaf. Well, the adhesive has now gone tacky, as you can probably hear. It doesn't want to be too dry, and it doesn't want to be too wet, just nice. So what we do now is we start applying this, which is your gold leaf. Try and open one for you so you can see what it is. It's very, very fine foil. This is actually known as Dutch metal, this one, which is a cheaper version of gold leaf. But you apply it pretty much the same as you would if you're doing gold leaf. So far, so good. Now you can see the difference between the copper and the gild. So you can see why they used to gild them. Like I say, you know, we could have just put some gold paint on it and be done with it, but I just fancied doing them the way they used to be. It's just nice to put things back as they were, rather than trying to put a bit of a modern sort of twist to it. Okay, so we've got a piece of gold leaf there now on. And we'll just get this real fine soft brush. We just stroke it in. Now you can see it breaking away there. Well, that's fine, because basically where it's got the little bits where it's not gone onto it, we just put another little piece on there and we brush it in. I suppose a bit like if you were painting, you know, you miss a bit, you go over it again with a bit more paint. But it won't stick to the gold leaf that you've already got on. That'll just brush off and come off in little pieces, more like a dust than anything. But what it will do is stick to the bits where there's no gold leaf gone on. I mean, I'm not a professional gilder or anything like that. I've never really been trained in gilding or anything, but it is quite simple to do. Now, I would imagine that if you're doing some real ornate piece or a antique picture frame or something like that, you know, you probably do do it slightly different than this and make a better job of it, but then you'd be a gilder. You know, this is a hand off a clock that is going to be probably about 35-40 foot up in the air. So from the ground, they'll look splendid. So we're not too worried about any slight imperfections in them. Now once I finish gilding this and it's set, I'll spray it with a cellulose lacquer, which will protect the gold leaf from the elements. Well, I'm going to attempt to show you a piece going on. It's not going to be easy one-handed because obviously I've got to hold the camera and do this. Right, oh no, it's gone pear-shaped already. Drop the gold leaf. Right, okay, so we've managed to drop a piece on there. It's like I said, it's not the easiest thing to do one-handed. You just stroke it in there. You see how it's basically straight away it sticks to that adhesive. And again, don't worry about the bits it's missed because we're just laying the sheet over the top and work it in. I mean, you can pick up little bits like that and just use them to rub it in. It can be quite frustrating to do this, but at the same time, rewarding. Right, well, I'm going to crack on with this now and I'll show you the end result because it's very difficult trying to film and do something like this, as you could appreciate. And there we go. That's now gilded. So I'll let this dry in, probably overnight, and then give it a spray with the lacquer, the clear lacquer, to protect it. But that's roughly what you do when you're gilding a bit of metal. I'm not the best in the world, you know. It's not what I do for a living, is it? But I'd rather have a go and get it half decent with the gold leaf than, like I say, slap gold paint on it. And they will look quite nice. The ones that we've already done and fitted to the clock look brilliant in comparison to what they were. Right, I think the rain may have stopped, so we might have to go and climb up that bell tower now and do a bit more.